Welcome to this new video on Forza Horizon 6, where I'm bringing you some gameplay with one of the new cars from the Car Pass. It was added to the game on July 2nd, 2026. It's a DLC car. This is truly a new car. While it may look like a regular Skyline R33 from the front or a three-quarter view, it's actually not. This is a very special and very rare version of this car that was customized by the tuner Autech. That's why it looks a bit weird when you look at it. You think, yeah, it's an R33, but it's a bit of a strange R33. Well, that's exactly why. This car has been lengthened. Actually, it's even stranger, since Autech is a tuner that officially collaborated with Nissan on this vehicle's development. For the 40th anniversary of the Skyline, Nissan asked them if they could do something a bit unusual. That is, to put all the mechanics of a Nissan GT-R R33 under the hood of a regular Skyline. Because actually, in the normal versions, the Skyline in the, let's say, non-sporty version, is a 4-door sedan. Well, a 5-door sedan. By the way, that's the big visual difference that looks strange with the R33 GT-R, because the R33 GT-R, the sporty version, is a 3-door, while this one is a 5-door. We have a car that's a bit heavier than a normal R33 GT-R, since it weighs 1,560 kg, and they kept the 4-wheel drive transmission on this one. The car still has good performance. It's a car that can reach almost 280 km/h stock and does 0 to 100 in 5 seconds, 5.2. So it's really powerful. Actually, Nissan asked Autech to really make the R33 the biggest sleeper possible, meaning to give it the most ordinary appearance, even less extreme than the normal GT-R. There are still 2 or 3 little things that let you tell it apart from a basic R33. Well, first of all, obviously there are the small GT-R logos, and there's still the front lip at the front, which is exactly like on a GT-R. And there's also the fact that this car is slightly wider than a basic Skyline R33 sedan, let's say. Especially because the all-wheel drive takes up a bit more space, but also because they wanted to put bigger wheels and larger suspension components. And, well, obviously that takes up a bit of space. The car is really cool to drive overall. It's actually super easy to drive. It brakes well, it handles well. Honestly, it might even be easier to drive than a GT-R. I think it's going to be a great little car both for having fun and for performance. A nice little detail. If you look at the car's center console, there's, I'm not really sure what it is actually. There's a gauge. I don't know what the gauge is for. At first, I was going to say turbo pressure gauge. But that must be it. I think it's, yeah, a turbo pressure gauge. That seems like the most likely thing. So let me show you the car in a bit more detail. So, the famous engine of the GT-R, the Delizzi's Biturbo, and the front, which really makes it look like a Nissan GT-R. Damn, yeah, what the fuck? I hadn't noticed, damn. The contrast between the front and the back, like, in the front they put in big racing seats but with old-fashioned car carpet, and in the back there are really actual old people's seats. What the hell, the carpets and everything? Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Well, we can't open the trunk though. So I hope that when it comes to upgrades and customization, it's going to be a little different from the basic R33. Otherwise, well, it's really going to be the same thing actually, in terms of driving. Indeed, we can't swap it. What else can we do? We can still put the top secret kit on it. Okay, and we can put a Nismo spoiler back on. It's such a weird-looking car. That's really strange, isn't it? Maybe we'll just do it like that, just with the R33 spoiler, otherwise it really has a super weird vibe. I don't want to say anything wrong, but I think it's a bit more powerful. Sorry, a bit more powerful than the regular R33. I think the regular R33 topped out around 950 horsepower, and here we have 990. So, a bit more powerful. Anyway, those who are really looking for power could swap it with other engines later on, which would allow for even more power. So, that won't be a problem, the power of this car. Well, is it what it should be? Once it's upgraded, we're still talking about a pretty powerful car. On the other hand, this is a car that I might not really test in races, for the simple reason that it's not a race car. Actually, you see what I mean. The car is in S2, which is a very high category. But the thing is, you can tell there's no point in putting it in race mode because it doesn't have enough downforce. Actually, to put it simply, the car is going to accelerate really hard. I think it's going to have a good top speed, probably over 400 without much effort. It's a car that's going to be okay in terms of handling, but it won't be able to compete with real S2 cars which actually all have twice the aerodynamic downforce. And that can take corners at 300 km/h while we have to go at 180 or it won't hold. Indeed, with the right settings, we could probably fix that a bit. But it's true that this car actually, it's a bit strange what they've done in the sense that it's very, very niche. Actually, on one hand, I'm pretty happy because the developers wanted to please. For fans of Japan and Japanese cars, they included many niche vehicles in the game. both as free cars and as cars added in updates. But sometimes it's true that you can wonder a bit what the point is of having them in terms of driving. Because honestly, as many cars as there are, honestly, as many stock cars, there was a difference with the 33 just like with the upgrades. Well, it's the same thing, with more power and a bit less precise handling, and it's a car that doesn't stand a chance. I think, in the category, let's say, starting from S1 I think already, it's a bit too complicated for it, so it's really a car for cruising. After that, the thing is, I don't know if players will want to drive it, rather than with the R33 GTR, which is more well-known, which is sportier in terms of design, but which is, however, it's possible that this will make the difference. The standard R33 GTR is a festival reward car, so not everyone can get it, just like this one. But here, at least, if you've paid for the DLC, the car pass, you're sure to be able to play with the R33 Autech. So it's really a super niche addition. On one hand, I'm happy, but on the other hand, it's true that the car, well, in terms of handling, you know, it's not a rocket either. And as for customization, there's nothing particularly amazing. So maybe it's a car we'll see a little bit at multiplayer gatherings at first, and that's about it. Well, that's a small point, but I think there's a chance this car could be pretty fast. I think we can go over 400 without too much trouble. Because we'll try to see. But in my opinion, given the car's tuning, hitting 400 is going to be a breeze. Yeah, I think so, especially going uphill. Yeah, the problem is, it's the car. Isn't planted to the ground enough to be interesting to drive at high performance on that. Actually, the R33 GTR is better. The R33 GTR upgraded to S2 is an excellent car. Alright, we're almost hitting 400, but I think on the straight line later, we're going to hit 400. We're going to do a little test since we're actually going to go there and swap it to really see the car's maximum potential. There are several potentially interesting engines here. It's true that there are some swaps I haven't really tested yet in the game, so let's take a look. Maybe they've put something a bit secret on this car. Maybe in the swaps there are possibilities we don't have. On the 33 GTR it's possible, so here we go. For your information, the engine here is the 3.5-liter V8 from the Nissan R390 race car, 1,072 horsepower. That's something. Next, what do we have? We have the 4-liter V8, what am I saying? V10, 4.8 liters. Rather, it must come from the LFA, so normally we have a good amount of guaranteed power here too. I think around 1,000 horsepower as well. It seems to me that it's a bit less over the top than on, Horizon 5. You see still? Yes, so maybe that, on the other hand, wasn't available as a swap on the R33 GTR. It's true that being able to get that much power doesn't ring a bell to me. The GTR's V6 makes about 1,000 horsepower, while this twin-turbo V8 makes around 1,100 horsepower. As for the V10 488, I'm not sure if it's on the base GTR. I'll check.
Sur la GTR de base, je vais vérifier ça.
So I checked. There's the same swap on the R33 GTR. So, well, there you go. It's not new. Let's see. Maybe in terms of top speed, though, it seems to be pretty impressive. I won't lie to you. I took a look at the tuning page and it looks pretty nice. So we're going to do a little top speed test to see if we can maybe break 450 km/h. There's a chance we might do it. Before we get started, just a quick reminder. You can support my channel by leaving a like and subscribing for future videos. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch for upcoming live streams. Honestly, I play Horizon 6 at least twice a week in multiplayer with you guys. So come follow, come use your Prime. It always makes me happy. And don't forget the standing partner link for my channel, which will be in the comments below the video, and the Jill command, which lets you get your games cheaper while giving a little support to my channel. Alright, let's go. We're starting. To leave at full speed. Damn, so it's true that in terms of acceleration though, it's really impressive. In terms of acceleration, I think it's way more aggressive than the Air 33 GTR even with a similar engine. I don't know why. My theory is that it has a lot less aero, so a lot less air resistance, and so it accelerates much harder. Thanks to that, you see, we hit 440 pretty easily. Well, 440 normally. There you go. We got it. I think we can hit 450 with drafting, but we're kind of at the limit. You know. So, it's fast, it's powerful, it's rare, because it's a car that was only sold in 415 units worldwide. Also, it's true it's a bit niche and a strange choice. So, that's it. I'll end this video here, and I'll see you very soon for a new video. Bye!